originated in West Africa. Sometimes, are you comfortable though before I start? I know him brush himself off and come back tomorrow again. Come out and see him and say that you are longer. Walk good. Wildheart ASMR. Hi. Hello. Wagwan. From when me I look upon them caterpillar ear upon your forehead, I may say, you can't shave them. But no worry. Today, I'm sorry for you. So I'm gonna tweeze your eyebrows for you. No more caterpillars on your forehead. And no more hiding those beautiful eyes. So, sit down. I have all my tools here for you. I'm gonna say my eyebrows are perfect neither, but they do not compare to those bushy things on your face. Folklore. You know tired of hearing me talk about folklore? Okay, fine. I'll tell you a story. We can talk about Anansi today. Anansi, the trickster. Okay, so Anansi stories originated in West Africa. They were brought over during the slave trade by Ashanti slaves from Ghana, and they were passed down through generations, of course. Anansi means, well, the word Anansi means spider, and he's portrayed sometimes as a spider, sometimes as a man, and sometimes I'm having him portrayed as both. One thing that remains consistent though is that Anansi, that looker fucker, is a trickster. Think low-key on crack. It's one of the most famed tricksters in all of mythology and folklore. And whether he's a protagonist or an antagonist, because depending on the story, he can be portrayed as either. His cunning is the one thing that is always consistent. Also, I'm recording. So, legend has it that once upon a time, we never really have any stories on this plane, on this earthly plane, and all the stories were held or owned by the sky god. So Anansi, bored out of mind, I have nothing to do, decides him go take up himself one day and him go ask the sky god for stories, or for his stories. He wanted stories. First of all, when Anansi approached the sky god, he laughed because there were people from all over the world, from everywhere, that come to him for stories, and nobody has been ever able to afford the stories. And here you come with a little spider self approaching a god of the sky, talking about you want him stories. Like, what do you have to offer me in exchange for these stories, Anansi? Anyway, so Sky Daddy asks Anansi, Sky Daddy asks Anansi, what him can give him in exchange for the stories. So Anansi say, anything, name it. So Sky Daddy say, alright, catch the style, yeah. Me want a serpent. I want a python snake. And that story later became Anansi and the snake, and that's the story I'll be telling you today. So he wanted a python snake. He wanted a hornet. He wanted a tiger. Was it a tiger or a leopard? Hold on. It was a leopard. He wanted a leopard, and he wanted a fairy, which in some stories, in some retellings of the story, is actually a dwarf and not a fairy. But he wanted all four of those things from Anansi, from a spider. So Anansi say, all right, cool, fine, I'm gonna work with you. Ultimately, he was able to obtain all those things and get the stories, and now we have Anansi stories. However, it wasn't easy. He had to use his cunning, and he had to be sly about it. So I'm gonna tell you the story of Anansi and the snake. Are you comfortable though before I start? Really? Okay. I'm already seeing those beautiful eyes of yours. Gorgeous. Sky Daddy tell Anansi him say he want the biggest snake in the jungle. He wants the python, right? So if Anansi did have knees, them would have buckled when he heard that, because apparently Brother Snake was somebody who was to be feared. Brother Snake did have a reputation, isn't it? Anyway, Anansi never met that more than him. Still, he's a determined little fellow. So he decided to use his wits. So the next day, along a path that he knew that the serpent frequented, he laid some berries. You know, so the serpent loved fruits, right? So he laid some berries waiting for him. But it wasn't just regular berries. It was a trap. There was a noose waiting to be wrapped around the serpent's neck as soon as he went for those berries. Anyway, here comes Brother Serpent coming along, and Anansi's trap is set, and he's somewhere in a nearby bush watching. And he sees these berries. Mouth start water. He's hungry. He wants these berries. But he's cautious because, like everywhere else, news travel fast, and him hear the rumors. Him hear rumors that Anansi out to get him for capturing Anansi a try. You know him as Anansi set out for him. So the rumors are fly. So he's cautious. So him see the noose what Anansi said. So him say, alright, catch the style, yeah. He makes his way around the noose, so he goes around to the other side, gets his berries, is not caught by the noose, and makes his way go about him business. So you know, say Anansi him vex. Somewhere in the bushes, well vex. Upset. But like I said, Anansi is a determined little fellow. So, you know him brush himself off and come back tomorrow again. That new plan. So, Anansi went back to the drawing board and then come back the next day. This time, he dug a hole and added some bananas in the hole. So it's another trap he must set for Brother Snake. Not only did he do that, but then him put oil around the rim of the hole. So when Brother Snake come and see the bananas and try reach in, he want him slip in the hole. Right? So yeah, him set the trap and now and him source that there's no way Brother Snake can't escape the one here. So Brother Snake him a come along now and him set the bananas. You know him love fruits, like I said. So I'm ready for eating bananas, water again. But then he saw the oil. Him catch the rakes again. And this time he wrapped his tail around a tree trunk, reached into the hole, and ate his bananas in peace. Then went along his merry little way. So you know, so Anansi vex again. Anansi is big mad at this point, upset. Honestly, he's just at his wit's end. So him decides him a go over Brother Snake yard, hat in hand, because he doesn't know what else to do. So he's there, sitting on Brother Snake's steps. And Brother Snake come out and see him and say, "You're out of order, cause you one so out of order and bright, so brave. You've been trying to catch me all week, yet you dare come sit on my doorstep," which is normal. Like, this person has been out to get you for days, and here they are on your doorstep. So Anansi say, "Yes," with him lie self, "Yes, I have been trying to capture you all week." But that was for a good cause. The people, everyone in the forest or jungle or whatever it is, have been talking about you, and they've been saying things. So this piques Brother Snake's curiosity, and he asks Anansi what kind of things everyone has been saying about him. So Anansi sees this as an opportunity to just continue the ruse and says, "Well, they've been saying that you have been strutting around or slithering around here, acting as if you're the longest thing in the kingdom, and basically you're acting as if your shit don't stank, when not even the shortest bamboo, when you're not even taller than the shortest bamboo, right? Like, who do you think you are? Like, you're not long, you just pretend to be. You're arrogant, right?" So this made Brother Snake very upset. He was like, "How dare they? Why are they saying these things about me? Let me prove them wrong. I'm the longest thing ever, and I'm going to prove them wrong." So he orders Anansi to go cut down the longest bamboo in the forest or jungle. Right? Anansi goes to cut it down and he comes back with it. And Brother Snake lays beside it and he says, look, call crowd, bring crowd, come, call all the people, tell them to come and come look and see for themselves that I'm longer than the longest bamboo in the forest. So Anansi says, yes, Brother Snake, I'm seeing it, and it would appear that you are longer than the longest bamboo in the forest, right? But how do I know that when I'm at your tail, you're not slithering down to make it look like you're longer, and then when I'm at your head, you're not slithering up, right? So Brother Snake said, okay, let me prove it to you even more. Tie my tail to the bamboo. So Anansi ties Brother Snake's tail to the bamboo and then makes his way to the head. Then he says to him, stretch, stretch, stretch with all your might. You're almost there. Keep stretching to show that you're taller than the bamboo. And Brother Snake stretched with all his might. Snake all start bust sweats. I don't know if you ever see one snake a bust sweat, but this snake start bust sweat and use up all him energy to stretch as far as he could. Said speed, Anansi time head to the bamboo, then time belly fast, and before you knew it, Brother Snake was trapped and captured by his own ego. Yeah. In this one, Anansi wasn't so bad. He was sort of an underdog, if you think about it. But then at the same time, Brother Snake was just minding his business. So, is Anansi really the good guy? Alright. So I think I'm done. Okay. Beautiful. Can already see your eyes just peering into my soul. I love them so much. Maybe next time I'll tell you how he captured all those other animals and finally got the stories. You're beautiful. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for trusting me with your face. I'll see you again soon.